We open up this episode seeing that Mr. McAllister's book has been published and has hit the streets. Members of high society quickly learn that he's spilling everybody's tea in this book. Mrs. Astor meets with Ada, Agnes, and Mrs. Fish to discuss his upcoming exile from high society. Next, we see him trying to get into an event of Mrs. Astor. Her butler informs him he's not on the list. He stares at him in disbelief and pieces it together that he's being shut out of high society. I can't believe he has the nerve to be appalled about the situation after exploiting his rich friends for his own selfish gain. He eventually confronts Mrs. Astor, and she expresses how he's broken her trust. He tries to rationalize why he chose to publish a book on high society, but Mrs. Astor isn't having it. They throw a few verbal low blows at each other, and Mrs. Astor dismisses him and instructs her butler not to ever grant him access into her home again. I do not feel sorry for Mr. McAllister. He should have seen this coming. Daddy Russell continues to be financially stressed because his former employee exposes how he's not in a good financial position at the moment. So the investors are now pulling out. However, his troubles are wiped away when Larry informs him miles of copper was discovered in the land he owns in the Midwest. And just like that, the Russells are back on top. He later informs his rival and former henchman Clayton about the discovery of copper in the land he owns, so he'll successfully be moving forward with the railroad expansion project. His rival gets upset that Clayton overlooked this and fires him on the spot. Damn, how many times is Clayton going to file for unemployment? As Mr. Russell stares at Clayton with a smirk on his face, Clayton tells him he's like a cockroach and has many lives. This will not be the last he hears from him. That definitely sounds like a threat. I'm worried about my husband. Oscar is dealing with the aftermath of the death of his love, John Adams. He meets John's sister, and it's revealed that John shared the significance of their relationship with her. She also informs him that John left him a cottage in Newport. Oscar is overwhelmed but accepts the inherited home and returns home. He informs Ada and Agnes that John left him a house. Agnes questions why, and Oscar in this moment lets his bottled up emotions free and nearly comes out to his mother. But Marian intuitively interrupts the moment by embracing him and explaining to Agnes that he lost a close friend and is hurting. Good job, Marian, because Agnes was not ready to have that conversation, but I think Auntie Ada picked up on the tea. Mrs. Astor meets with Bertha and explains she will not host her annual ball this year due to the scandal of her daughter, and asks Bertha if she would take on the duties of throwing the annual ball this year. Bertha's delighted she would trust her to throw the annual ball and agrees to host the function this year. Later, she meets with Mr. McAllister, and he tries to backdoor his way back into high society through Bertha. She rightfully declines inviting him to the event and questions why he chose to publish a scandalous book. I am so glad she was smart and didn't try to assist him with getting back into the fray. She knew she would have to deal with the consequences if she were to oblige him. Larry pops up at Marian's job and tries to explain himself. She can't seem to get over the fact that he lied and sticks to her decision to call off the engagement. The colorist heifer meets up with another old biddy and she spills the tea on Peggy's checkered past to Mrs. Kirkland. She quickly ends their tea party and rushes to her son so she can tell him everything. She locates him and immediately tells him that Peggy was once married and has a child who died. He informs her he will speak to Peggy tonight so he can hear this from her. Mrs. Kirkland is just miserable. I really hope Dr. Kirkland continues to see Peggy after he hears her side of the story. We end this episode seeing Mr. Russell preparing to leave for the club after he celebrated his newfound prosperity with his son Larry. As he's gathering his things and conversing with his new henchman, a mysterious gentleman enters the room and says he has a message for Mr. Russell. He steps forward, pulls out a gun, and shoots Big Daddy Russell. The episode fades to black. Bravo! This is how you keep people on edge and ready to come back next week. Someone shot my husband and I'm not okay with this. Who do you think put a hit out on George? Was it Clayton or his railroad rival? Mr. Russell has a lot of enemies, so it can literally be anyone. Bertha's going to be so upset. Y'all know she loves this man deeply. Oscar almost came out to Agnes, and you can tell by the cold look on her face. She's not ready to deal with that reality. The actor Blake Ritson did a wonderful job expressing Oscar's pain this episode. I think this was a great penultimate episode for this season. The writing was superb, and it really seems like the story continued to move along in this episode. I'm looking forward to seeing how it all ends next week. I rate this episode another solid A. If you like this review, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.